Hi guys. Usually my videos are all kind of upbeat and positive. I try to give a good vibe and stuff like that. But I live a life just like everybody else. I've got concerns. Life has ups and downs. And recently a lot of things have. There's a frog over there making noise. You hear that? But recently things have been difficult. It's the virus thing has made it very, very difficult on small businesses. Even for people who have jobs and are laid off, and you're like, how am I going to pay my bills? And the bills here at the building where I'm at are very steep. It's many thousands of dollars to come up with every single month. And oftentimes I found myself asking, could I afford this with the money that I'm making from kayak rentals? And most of the time the answer is probably not. However, I had multiple streams of income. I was making a little money from merchandise, people buying shirts, which I appreciate. And then there was ad revenue from YouTube. That money could help on top of the kayak rental money that I was making to pay for this place. And because my boat's here and I live on my boat, okay, well, no matter where you are, you got to pay rent of some sort anyway, so it was all justified. Well, now that the kayak rental income is not there anymore, things are getting very expensive. I still think that it's worth holding on to. A lot of times things that you really have to work hard for are worth sacrificing. If you really want it, you got to give first, and then maybe later you get. And I've been given my time, wanting to go out fishing, but I can't. You got to be stuck here when you run a business like this 7 days a week. I talked briefly about closing the business, but that didn't work because how can I be closed Monday through Friday and expect to pay the rent? Well, now I am closed every day. And I've been enjoying myself. I don't want you guys to get the impression that I am on the cliff ready to jump and end it all. It's not that at all. It's just feeling as if this is the end of a chapter and the beginning of another. There's always things that are just going to be aggravating. This is just one of them. Todd runs Roundabout Watercraft. He is also hurting really bad and has talked to me. We're open about such things with each other, about how we're going to manage paying the rent, and is he going to stay here? Is it worth it for him to stay here? Of course, that means if he doesn't, I would have to take up the slack. He has a boat here usually, and it's worth something for him to have a boat here and to have a place. But if it's not for Roundabout, it's just for his video work that he does, because he has multiple income sources as well, because Roundabout, again, is very demanding, very expensive. It's his baby. He loves it. But it's hard sometimes when you're taking a loss. So yeah, the economy and everything, everybody's hurting. So sales are way down, which makes it really, really difficult for him. And he talked, well, what if he had to leave? He'd feel bad for me. And at first I was like, well, I'll start hustling. I'll start working harder, make more money, and then I'll be able to keep this rental business open. But then, wait a second, all I'd be doing is work, making a lot of money, yes. Could you imagine making $4,000 or $5,000 every month? Now, to me, that's a lot of money, but it would all be coming in the front door and going right out the back door. The landlord would benefit. I would be stuck here with an old junky truck because I can't afford a new one. Lately I've been having indications that, a root canal is in order. My teeth have never been great. I mean, what do I do? Can I even go to a dentist? No health insurance. How do I take care of that? These are sacrifices I've been making to try to make this reality possible, so that people can come and meet me and I can continue to sit on the dock and look at the sun. And it's a fanciful dream, but a little short on reality perhaps. I've experienced downtime before. We all do. How do we deal with that? With excitement for what is about to come. However, I feel like now I'm starting to look for options. What if this place didn't exist? Where would I live? I've played with the idea of selling the boat, buying an RV, so that I could park it somewhere, have my own land. I actually went today and looked at 7 acres. Interesting place. And it would open a whole bunch of possibilities for me to be creative and share maybe more videos. I would have more time to go out and explore different places and fish different new places and make more fishing videos. I know a lot of you guys out there would like that. So I'm not afraid of the options, but I'm starting to weigh them. And I don't know. I'm not sure at this point how long this rental business would be open. Maybe it's late in the day and it's the beer talking. Again, it's not despair. It's just, what if? I don't know. The more I think about it, honestly, the more excited I get. And that's how we all should be, I think. Like if this really hurts, what do we do once we get beyond it? Part of me is like excited about it. Living on the river is strange. Living on the boat, you don't have any private space. Somebody could be right outside your boat. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a little disconcerting. Here comes a boat right now. Small boat, doing all right. Sometimes the business is open and I'll have customers on the dock. I've had old folks, pregnant women, small kids, sometimes getting into small vessels, and somebody comes by throwing an enormous wake. And in their mind, they're doing, hey, I'm allowed to do this. I don't think it's morally correct to throw a big tidal wave up against a boat that's tied to a dock, or people getting into kayaks, or a guy fishing over there. And what's funny is that you don't require a license to drive a boat. Not a safety course if you're over a certain age, and nothing. Just a lot of money, buy a big boat. Go ahead, you don't even have to obey the speed limits, because there's nobody out here to enforce the speed limits. It's like the Wild West some days, and it's aggravating. And it makes me think, well, if I had an RV and I could park it someplace, I could be free from this aggravation. And I could do more videos. And anyways, my mind rolls like that. Even making YouTube videos can sometimes be aggravating. I got a drone recently. I'm flying it. Many people asked in yesterday's video about it. And some people were asking if you need a license and this and that. This is the drone right here. This is, for those asking, it's a DJI Mavic Mini. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's written right there. There's the DJI. It's also written right on it that it's 249 grams. DJI was very excited about this drone because it was so light, under 250 grams. That's why they actually wrote it on there. What does that mean? It means not that only that it's light, but that it's exempt from certain licensing obligations. Because many people were asking in the comments, do you need a license? Other people were wagging their finger and saying, no, you're going to get in trouble. But I mean, this to me is a toy. It's the first drone I've ever owned. It's a piece of cake to fly it. And I'm a smart guy. I know how to be respectful. I never go near people with that. Could you imagine a drone hovering and you're not flying it and it's right there next to you? That's not cool. So I never do that. I don't fly it over people. You know, I got some sense about me. I remember when I first got a license to drive a car, I mean, getting behind the wheel was no big deal. I knew exactly what I was doing. I did pretty good at driver's ed when I was 17 years old in New York. But some people might need, you know, to be put in line and told what to do. So I understand you have to have a license to drive a car. I understand the need for a license to drive or fly a drone. But if you're recreational and you're not making money, you're just flying a drone for a little bit here and there, and it's under 250 grams, or what is it, 0.55 pounds, then you don't need a license. And that's why DJI came out with the Mavic Mini, to get around that, to circumnavigate those rules. And there's other rules too. The rules are really, really long. I mean, I have a license to drive a boat. I've got a captain's license from the U.S. Coast Guard. Went through the course, took a bunch of tests, got my first aid, my TWIC card, took the physical, jumped through a lot of hoops, did a lot of tests, required a lot of time and effort to remember things like the day shapes for a 200-meter vessel or a dredge, or you know, somebody towing a submerged object. Why do I need to know this? If you want a captain's license, you need to know that. You know, even if I'm going to take a small vessel with a couple paying customers out for a sunset cruise, you gotta jump through the hoops. So I kind of get it. A drone under 250 grams, if you're recreational, if you want to buy one, don't knock yourself out getting a license. Don't take my advice though, because rules change. They seem extremely lopsided. People can come by in a 45-foot boat with 3 motors, plowing, practically knocking people over. There is a rule that says if you hurt somebody's boat, or if you hurt somebody with your wake, you're liable. I learned that in captain school. But how do you prove that, right? You just bend over and you take it. You got boaters who require no regulation at all, and you want to fly a little piece of junk like this, and you got to get a license. So I don't know. I'm at a conundrum. This is a weird day. You know, I'm like, what do I do with the business? Do I hold on to it? Because running a business is very similar. You always feel like somebody's out there to get you. Somebody's going to sue you. Somebody's going to trip and fall. Somebody's going to, you know, come late in the day, and you got to stick around all day, and you're making $20, and you're like, this is not worth it. It's not worth the time. You're not making enough money to pay the rent. And then you want to fly a drone and make some good shots for a YouTube video, and people are like, you need a license and you're going to get in trouble. And you want to just throw the reins to the horse and say, screw this, and give up. I do feel these things too. However, I'm not going to let it stop me. I never did. What's the old adage? When I was trying to go into business, everybody told me who was in business, they were like, look, just ask for forgiveness. Don't ask for permission. Great advice. Because in life, there's always times when you got to do something for the greater good, and you just do it. You know, I'm not advocating being a lawbreaker or anything like that, or doing things that are against the rules, but for goodness sakes, you know, you want to get by in life. Sometimes you just gotta do it. And ask for, you know, if you screw up and you hurt somebody or you go do something against the rules, then, you know, say you're sorry. So, I'm not looking for that. I don't want to have to say I'm sorry. I want to do things by the rules. I also want to, I want to continue making videos to entertain you guys, to help you through your days. But I don't want to get in trouble. So who knows? If I do drone footage in the future, perhaps I'll get the guy that used to do the drone footage for me, and it won't be me. Therefore, I can monetize my videos and still make a buck. So yeah. Ay, ay, ay. It's actually nice to see people out on the water having fun. And that skiff makes hardly any wake. They stayed on plane, they gave me a wide buffer. That's the reason I don't want a slow speed minimum wake sign out there. I just want people in big boats to be respectful. Oh my God. Sorry. When did this turn into a rant video? My God. I'm just sitting here watching the sun go down, drinking a beer with my dogs. Life is good. And it is. What are you woofing at? There's nobody there. So yeah, I want to address certain things that people were asking yesterday about drone footage, and now you know my thoughts on that. If you want to get one recreationally, use it. It's great. No big deal. If you want to use one to monetize your videos on YouTube, watch yourself. There's a lot to learn, a lot of rules. The community for flying drone is a little bit like Kramer from Seinfeld. It's times a million. Weirdos. Really controlling when it comes to flying stuff. Even toys like this. But if you want to get a giant boat and rip around, that's cool. You want to get a jet ski and do 60 miles an hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone, no problem. Nobody's going to bother you. If you want to run a business and help people get on the water and paddle and enjoy themselves, well, you better have some thick skin. It's the same with having a YouTube channel. There's people out there who's gonna, they're going to attack you, and you got to accept it. I do. I see the greater good in what I do, and I won't let it stop me. Finances, running a rental business, I don't know. I'd feel bad if I had to close. I don't know. I don't think I do. But we'll see how long this lasts, this quarantine. If this lasts another couple of months, the future of Zoffinger's kayaks might be in trouble. My future might be just starting a new chapter. I wonder about these things. I didn't even want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it because it may never come to pass. I might still be here for years to come. I might be here for another couple of months. It's weird how that works. But the worst case scenario for me has always been a hurricane. What if it comes and just wipes everything off wipes this building off the foundation, takes all my kayaks, sinks my boat. My buddies who live close to me, who watch my dogs when I go away, their house would probably be gone. That was always worst case scenario in my brain. What we're facing right now is, financially, those hardships, having to give up the business, it pales in comparison. My friend said I could stay with them if I had to. I looked at a place today with a lot of land on it. The future is always bright if you stay positive. So I am. I'm not saying that just to say that. I am. You should be too. Whatever's going on in your life, surely it might seem pretty crazy. You lost your job, you're looking for identity, you don't know what to do with yourself, you seem empty. It's a transition period to what comes next. You gotta, be excited about it. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm ranting too much. I should probably end this video. I did a long one the other day. People thought it was good. The other day, what was it, yesterday? So yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm going to end this nonsense. I did go out fishing today. I was at a new place. I was fishing with somebody, and it was good and bad. I did fly the drone, and because of yesterday's revelations about licensing and stuff, I was like, well, if I don't have drone footage, what did I have? Because it's long, and I couldn't whip it together really quick, so I gave you this rant video instead. So, yeah, I'm going to leave on a positive note. I just squeeze the camera off the tripod there. I'll show you my Jabberwocky. Hello, puppy dog. She's a good puppy dog, yes. My German Shepherd. She's so wonderful. And Bayard, he's a good boy. Yes, he's so nice. Oh my goodness, okay. Can you sit? Oh my God, they're so good. And they sit with me all the time, and we look at the sunset. So yeah, things might be dire, but don't worry about me. Do not worry. Because if it's not this, I wonder what the next chapter will be.